Rich is relative. Perhaps you believe it to entail being among the top 1% of earners in some of the richest US cities. Maybe it means having the money to purchase a fancy mansion or living a life of luxury travel. However, former investment banker Kristen Addis told Insider that although making just about 40% of her prior six-figure pay, she feels wealthy since she can now afford to travel. Nick and Doris Swift, who both quit their professions to earn a small portion of what they did before, claimed they are happy with their lower earnings. The self-made millionaire stars of West Texas Investors Club claimed that the value of their relationships surpasses the value of their earnings. Ultimately, the definition of wealthy might vary from person to person, just like the definition of happy. No matter how you define wealth, there are a few characteristics that are always present. 1. You can save money. Most individuals are unaware that success in life has little to do with your financial situation. According to Robert Kiyosaki in Rich Dad Poor Dad, it all depends on how much money you keep. At the end of the day, money does not fix financial issues. On the opposite, it frequently makes things worse. Think about lottery winners who went bankrupt quickly, or about professional players who made millions of dollars in their 20s before becoming bankrupt. According to Kiyosaki, money frequently exposes our awful human weaknesses, shining a light on what we don't know. Because of this, all too often, people who get a windfall of money, such as an inheritance, an increase in wages, or lottery winnings, quickly find themselves in the same, or even worse, financial situation as before. 2. You can live comfortably below your means. Living below your means is one of the major tenets of responsible money management, spending less than you earn, however much that may be. Self-made billionaire Anthony C. told Insider that learning to live within his means was a lesson he learned from his parents, who immigrated to the US from Taiwan. The habit has helped me quite a bit, and that's one of the reasons I've survived and flourished in consumer lending for 30 years. He said, "My career spans 4 different economic and housing cycles, and I'm still sitting at the table as a key executive in consumer lending. I think part of that is my discipline of making certain that the company and myself don't overspend. Living within your means might not sound like a big deal if you're already doing it, but not everyone can manage." A 2019 report released by GeoBanking Rates found that a third of Americans surveyed are living paycheck to paycheck. 3. You will eventually be able to pay for the things you really want. Most people would consider you wealthy if you were able to go out and purchase a yacht right now with cash. But if, after creating a savings goal and putting money aside on a monthly or yearly basis, you can go out and purchase the same yacht 5 years from now, guess what? You're still probably wealthy. Survey after survey turns up the same dispiriting result. Americans aren't saving all that much. The same GeoBanking Rates survey reported that 45% of respondents had no household savings, and an estimated 40 million households have no retirement savings whatsoever. Which brings us to our next point. 4. You're going to be able to afford to retire as planned. Retirement is expensive. Experts say that to live lavishly in retirement, you need to replace about 70% to 80% of your current income, although that number is disputed. Even if you've downsized, and maybe even relocated to an area with a low cost of living, retirement is still a prolonged period of supporting yourself on little or no income. Traditionally, retirement age is 65, but that's changing as more Americans find they're unable to float 20-plus years of living without a paycheck. Data from a 2019 Bureau of Labor Statistics report found that nearly 20% of Americans aged 65 and older are still working. If you can afford to retire when you want to, it's a luxury. 5. You aren't motivated purely by money. One common thread you'll find among self-made millionaires and those who study them is that rich people tend to focus on something other than the dollar signs. They're solving a problem, or following a passion, or striving to build their business as much as possible. That right there is a luxury. If you can't make ends meet, you can bet you'll be focusing on the dollar signs over the intellectual fulfillment of your job. This doesn't mean you can't be happy to earn a sizable paycheck, or you can't be excited to watch your investments grow. But money isn't your chief motivator or source of joy. If you have the luxury to focus on something other than the money, you're in a good place. 6. You view money as an ally. Most people have a dysfunctional, adversarial relationship with money, writes self-made millionaire Steve Siebold. After all, we are taught that money is scarce, hard to earn and harder to keep. If you want to start attracting money, stop seeing it as your enemy and think of it as one of your greatest allies. The reason wealthy people earn more wealth is because they're not afraid to admit that money can solve most problems, Siebold says. The middle class sees money as a never-ending necessary evil that must be endured as part of life. The world class sees money as the great liberator, and with enough of it, they are able to purchase financial peace of mind. If you aren't scared of money, if you view it as an ally, and a tool that can help you achieve what you want in life, you're ahead of the game. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.